We will do fermented cabbage today, which is a sauerkraut. All you need is a food processor. I mean, I don't use a food processor, I just cut it by myself, so you'll need a sharpened knife. Some sea salt. Oh, just salt. The best thing to use, I mean, we usually do very small portions. So we use these jars that we have, okay, and you need some type of a presser, okay. So what we do, we have these bottles, so I fill them with water, and that's what I use as a presser. You'll see what I mean later on. Press is gonna help keep the cabbage down, okay, and the air to go up. Now, except glass, you can use ceramic as well, okay. Please don't use any metal. Okay, so my process will take time because I'm gonna do it by hand. Okay, by cutting it in two. I mean, I wash my cabbage. The best use, please try to use local cabbage and organic. But oh, there's some water left. Let me just wipe it. Just get stuck here in between. Okay, and now we'll start the cutting. Okay, very thin. Once you cut like a batch, you can start filling your jar. Okay. Once you press, it's gonna shrink a lot. You'll see. So my mission is to fill it in it's 3/4. Okay. It's a good thing to have some type of a presser. Okay. So reach.
What size is this bottle? It says
this one,
it's almost
1
1 liter.
Yeah.
So 1 quart, almost 1 liter,
Yeah.
0.95 liters.
Now, yeah, all you need is a pinch of salt. Okay, so I read it as I go. I'm just trying to add some salt. Salt will preserve it as well, and it will help the juices to come out.
So in between you're putting salt. So
Yeah.
maybe halfway through you put some salt, and then you
halfway, and then at the end I'll
You're
put some
putting in.
salt as well. Yeah, just a pinch of salt. Okay. Now it depends on the taste as well. So because we're doing usually small batches, like I'm gonna use basically 2 jars.
So normally 1 full cabbage, would that be 2 jars?
No, for this is quite a big cabbage.
Okay, so
But for this cabbage, I will need 4 jars.
4 jars? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep the other half in the refrigerator.
Okay.
The good temperature, but it's around 70 degrees, like plus minus 2 degrees, you know, so it's like
So
from
the
60.
so the sauerkraut you're saying should be kept at a certain temperature.
Yeah, because it can be too hot, so definitely not.
Nice and cool.
Yeah. Not too cold. Yeah.
Room temperature.
The room temperature. Yeah. That's why we never do it in the summer, because it's just it gets too hot, and even in the basement, I just don't want to put it in the basement. So what we do, once I'll fill it in, okay, there's some more space left. Just cut some more. Okay. Now you can do with your hands as well, basically your fist. It's going to be my presser. Well, whatever you have handy. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to press all the cabbage. Okay. Now in 3 hours, the juices will start coming out more and more. Okay. So it's gonna now another pinch of salt. Okay.
I'm going to put it to sports. I'm going to change it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 1
Okay, so I can add a little bit more cabbage. Okay. And now I'll fill my bottle with water, and that's gonna be my presser. And we'll just a sec. Oh, actually, I can use this bottle. So it's already. Okay, so I'll press it one more time with the bottle right now. Okay, so keep all the cabbage inside. We'll come back to it in 3 hours when the juices will start coming out. Okay, and then I'll show you what is the next step. So we'll have to take all the air out of the bottle, okay, and make sure that all our cabbage is covered with liquid. The more you press in the beginning, okay, the easier it's gonna for the juices to come out afterwards. Okay, right now I'm gonna leave it for 3 hours. We'll come back to it.
Sounds good.
Okay, so 3 hours passed by, so we have when we'll press, you can see how, oh, you see bubbles, air bubbles popping, coming out. Yeah, and more basically brine comes. Okay, so what we'll do, I'm using a chopstick, and with a chopstick I'm poking cabbage to release some air in between. See, there is some accumulation, some spots where the air got stuck. Okay, I just want to release it. It's important, and the cabbage needs to be always covered with brine. Okay, the process is gonna, this cabbage is gonna stay outside for 3 days. Usually I keep it on a kitchen counter, so this way I remember to poke and release the air bubbles that accumulate. I release the bubbles 2 times a day, okay, with a chopstick. I mean, that's what I found the most useful to me. Okay, so right now the cabbage is gonna stay until tomorrow. So tomorrow is an I'll poke and we're gonna be able to see. You see, there is an air bubble. Okay, so we can leave it until tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll just release it. Okay. Now there is a tip. One of the kids, our kids, doesn't like to eat greens. So what we do, but he loves pickles, cucumbers. So what we do right now, okay, we take when I'm preparing the cabbage, okay, I just put 2 tablespoons of brine from a pickles. Okay, and that's all that's needed to change the flavor to pickle, like it becomes really like pickled cabbage, and it works wonders, and he loves it. So he gets all the nutrients from a cabbage, okay, together with a pickled flavor. Okay, so let me first press this one. Another thing, good thing, while you're filling the cabbage, you can always add a little bit of dill. Okay, it will change the flavor as well and make it more delicate, I would say. So really, you should definitely try dill one time. Then I'm gonna add some pickled brine into 2 tablespoons is enough. Changing flavor. Okay, it's gonna do the trick. Oh, someone added me some brine here too.
See how it works.
Okay. So it's until tomorrow. The 3 days passed by. Okay, so each day we were prickling the cabbage to release the air bubbles from inside. Okay, as you can see, the accumulation. Okay, and okay. As you can see, the cabbage changed the color, and that's what's supposed to happen, so it becomes a yellowish color. Now once it's okay, so let me show you the texture. Okay, it becomes crispy. Okay. Now, if there's accumulation of foam, okay, you can always scoop it with a spoon. I mean, you should always scoop it with a spoon. Right now, it's just we don't have much because we have a very small amount of cabbage. Okay, the cabbage needs to stay all the time in a juice, okay, in its own juice, which is brine. Okay, as you can see, I added some dill in here, okay, which will add a nice texture to it. Now, at the end of the 3 days, we can just close and put it in the refrigerator or in a cool cellar. It depends if you have a basement that always keeps a cool temperature. You can obviously keep it there. Now, with time, the taste is gonna change, okay, because the fermentation continues to happen. It's just the cooler the temperature, the slower the process becomes. Another thing, if at any point you see mold or texture becomes too slimy and soggy, please discard the whole batch. Okay, it can happen due to like maybe too warmer temperatures. Okay, maybe not enough salt. Okay.
So I guess recommended temperature, I think 65 to something degrees. That's around there.
Yeah, 72 degrees is fine as well. So, okay, so we're continuing to keep it in the brine and putting it in the refrigerator. Okay. Now note, we did this cabbage especially for kids, so that's why I didn't keep it longer than 3 days outside. Okay, because I just don't like it too sour. Because with time the taste will become more and more sour. Okay, and it has a little bit of pickled flavor due to the vinegar from a pickled cucumbers. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.